We get with you now the presidential spokesman, Honorable Alhaji Alpha Kanu. They can talk to we about government position or government reaction to the announcement the U.S. government make. The Secretary of State Anthony J. Blinken announced on Friday that they don't announce visa restriction to certain individuals na salon way for the whole way they play their involvement in the June 24th multi-tier elections. Good morning, Honorable Alpha Kanu, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Lambrana. Good morning, everybody.
I'm sure government, either through social media or through the mainstream media or officially go don't receive this. Waiting now government reaction to the statement from the U.S. Secretary of State and then position.
Well, this information reach we like it reach everybody else. On a press statement made by the Secretary of State for the United States, Mr. Anthony Blinken, where he talks them at the United States and don't decide for activate Article 212A3C of the Immigration and Nationality Act for make them go restrict, for give visa to certain individuals we then sabi, we then believe say the hamburging the democratic process in Sierra Leone, including the past elections. Now so we have taken noam through the press release. Maybe a note verbal go on follow. We embassy at Washington. But all of the information we get, the first information we get usually now through this press release. But of course, what's in government get for do? American I didn't get their country. And then they admit what they want. And they refuse what they want. And they restrict what they want. And the law we quote, the state are very clear. Say this not target the Sierra Leonean people. It not target government either. Target particular individuals where they believe say they're enjoying for hamburging the elections we pass through various ways: intimidation, violence, couscous, and threatening remarks, and they say vote rigging. We as a government, we don't know of any vote rigging. They know. So they know why they say this. But as you can see, the net way they cast it wide. It includes almost everybody will be involved in politics, in elections, and possibly make some remarks or threaten other people and all that. So it is not targeted against government.
But like you said, in that's why it includes people in government as well. It might include people in government
well. That is the point. That is the point. You see, you not only make that statement, but you also quote the Article 212A3C, where states clearly say, if the United States, they apply this law against alien and a stranger, that law they not go apply to anybody when an official of a foreign government. And Sierra Leone government, not a foreign government. You know, they apply to anybody where they turn up for election in a foreign country. In the period just before the election. Maybe after the election, well, then go where they go. But if you're now a serving member of government, you know, they affect you. That's what the law says. And I can read you the caveat.
Okay.
So it says, foreign nationals may be inadmissible if granting the foreign national a visa would cause potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences for the U.S. However, it does not apply to an alien who is an official of a foreign government or purported government, even if it is not a recognized government. But if it is purported, and by popular acceptance, they say not government, we will include the other foreign military regimes and all that. If you didn't have that government, this law no they affect you. They're not going to restrict you because you're working for a government. And they don't want to foresee them to be interfering in the democracy and the process of governance of other people. You know? I say also, number 2, a candidate for an election to a foreign government office during the period just before the elections. Okay. Maybe after the election. If you know him, you're not in government, and they believe you do something, then something will affect you. And it says clearly.
La read within the press statement we the Secretary of State's been pulled out, just for put them into context so people themselves with the watch can understand. You see, the United States is committed to supporting and advancing democracy in Sierra Leone and around the world. Today I am announcing a new visa restriction policy under Section 212A3C of the Immigration and Nationality Act for undermining the democratic process in the June 2023 Sierra Leone election. Under this policy, the United States will pursue visa restriction for those believed to be responsible or complicit in undermining democracy in Sierra Leone, including through the manipulation or rigging of the electoral process, intimidation of voters, election observers, or civil society organizations through threat or acts of physical violence, or the abuse or violation of related human rights in Sierra Leone. Family members of such persons may also be subject to these restrictions. Persons who undermine the democratic process in Sierra Leone, including the lead up to, during, and following Sierra Leone's 2023 elections, may be found ineligible for U.S. visas under this policy. The visa restriction policy announced today will apply to specific individuals and is not directed at the Sierra Leonean people. This decision reflects the commitment of the United States to support Sierra Leoneans' aspiration to have free and fair elections that demonstrate the will of the people and strengthen democracy and the rule of law. Earlier you say the net's wide and involve, they not specifically say who's person, but people in governance were involved in elections as well.
And so are those who are not in government.
Exactly. So are you saying the quotes, the section where you quote, so this law not get for?
No, it does not. Because
people in our government,
no,
people
no,
in the public.
Does not. No, it does not. This law is very clear.
But if so, are you saying this is targeting who now? If it's not targeting,
well, I don't know. I am not Anthony Blinken. I am not the one.
But Anthony Blinken making points very clear.
Yeah, but he also quotes a law that is something where then they abide by in America. Okay. That law they say this. Yes, we will pass this edict, this restriction will they pass. It is according to we law when Immigration and Nationality Act, Section 212A3C. And what does Section 212A3C say? It says yes to go make people inadmissible. However, if then they work for a foreign government, you know, they affect them. How much more do you want to know? If the person that in up election for a foreign government office, during the period where it dip and that period they take the election, it's not going to affect them, they're not going to restrict them. Okay. But maybe after the election, if you do not become a government official, something will affect you. That's what I'm saying. But this one clearly says that people that way they work in a foreign government are not affected. It's very clear. So the government is confident that no one in this government will be affected by this restriction? If they are working for government. That's what the law says. Okay. If you work in a government, you're a government official, this law no go affect you. That is what it is saying. Unless they want to bend it or amend it. Yesterday, well, I don't know. But the one way I don't really from where the 31st August, where in quote, is say, if you are a government official in a foreign government, and Sierra Leone's government is a foreign government, it is not an American government, this law no go affect you, they no go restrict you. But if you're not a government official, and you involve by acts, this and that, we no give you any absolution, then of course, this law will catch you. Okay. So this news about the press secretary in our State House, Solomon Jamiu, in one of the interviews that we get with him, say this is not something where government thinks say they portray the fight for democracy and good governance in the country. The news about visa restriction on Sierra Leone. And
I just want to ask, what think government think about this as a country, as a nation? We don't go through elections, and the United States government announced this. What think you think about to with democracy and good governance?
Me, I think say with democracy is intact.
Okay.
But as I can say, what you think say fine, the other person will think say no fine. All subject to conjecture, subject to your own assessment. But we here in Sierra Leone and the people of Sierra Leone believe say with democracy they intact. Because the person with the head of this government, now person we don't show say, in a person we believe in democracy. We not forget, you see, if you forget Usa you come out, now you know they know Usa you go. Usa we come out with President Madabio. President Madabio now be military ruler in Sierra Leone. But he promised we say within 3 months we take over. He go hand over. And he did that. He was young. Get strength, get all kinds of things. Their ambition. Other military rulers will not do that. At 27, 28 years, he hand over. He go. He come back, he contest elections. You know, win. He still sit down, he go. Now he win the election, he say, when I come, let me work. The man don't show say, he ready for deepen the democracy in Sierra Leone. Because he helped for put on together. You see, when Sierra Leone been there, pan troubles before, we did pan war, all man they run helter skelter, myself na I no been there, most of we don't go hide. Now the time that way, this young man been there at the army, now he grab, he say, look, this one they carry go before. He say, let me go look for this person where now in they cause this war, now in they tell them people like let we go to war. He go look for the leader of the Revolutionary United Front. For the Sanko. He by Jolant, he bring come, he pull on a bush, he bring come, say, no, talk please. If the man will want for perpetuate himself in power. In fact, that not be the same way he be for just to say, but we know he will hand over. We are still at war. No, but say, let me go get this peace on the table. And make we hand over and come out now. And he did that. And because he believes, say, he able for give Sierra Leoneans things they want, he come back, he can try. And in 2018, the country gained the leadership. And we don't see what he don't do. He don't change the education system. He don't change a lot of systems, the corruption system. He don't change a lot of things in this country, to the extent that Today, they say we, now Sierra Leone, now we are the most peaceful country in West Africa. Country where just come up and war. We in Sierra Leone, now we are the 3rd most peaceful in Africa and 39th most peaceful in the whole world out of 193 countries. And they're not small. Now big thing that one day. So if this man not to be Democrat, now autocrat, now despot, now dictator and all that, those things will not come. People use all that.
But the issue now where the US government don't they talk about, remember the outgoing ambassador in an interview on Radio Democracy been said the same thing about the electoral process, and Anthony Blinken as well mentioned that is the issue about the June 24th election. That is what they're questioning.
Issue from his own view.
Yes, from the US government's perspective.
That is their own view.
Yes, exactly.
But the view from the ECOWAS is not that. That it was peaceful and transparent.
Okay.
The view from the African Union advisors, they say, it's peaceful, transparent, and fair. The view from the Commonwealth, they say it's peaceful and transparent. Okay, that is 3 against 1.
Okay.
All right, if that is the case, those one day we feel say team then go against them. They don't tell you say if you're not happy, road day for Fala. Within 7 days, even you, Lambrana, you're not a journalist, so you are neutral. Any other citizen outside there, we feel say the process not being correct, you get right. For take the matter, go to the Supreme Court. But out of the 8 million people in Israel, where they take it, nobody no go, not one. So you mean say, we say 8 million people don't say they no get issue. Can we all be wrong? Including the opposition. They say if they get something wrong, make them go. They say they let it go.
So the government is not worried about the position of the United States?
Of course you are. They are serious partners for you, for development, for democracy.
And then say the election then gets concerns about the election.
They have said that.
Yeah.
President Trump in America is still saying that the election is fair for him. In America, but the government is running. President Joe Biden is the president of the United States, irrespective of what former President Trump says. So here in Sierra Leone, the ECSL, when we organ, where for pronounce those things, where they manage elections according to our laws, where they don't do them according to the laws, the PEA, which is called the Elections Act of 2022, and of course our Constitution. They don't look calm, you don't decide. Say the people don't talk, I will announce the voices of the people. You don't announce them, say, the people agree, say, that President Leone is the president of Sierra Leone. So I don't yarn this. One or two people may not be happy. Not because possibly the election's not good, not this, not that, not because you say me one lay, B, not B. It's like when you're playing football. Well, you sit on here, you want let Blackpool win. But then when Lions win, you're not happy. But you have to accept the fact. Because they are the champions. Like Bow Rangers. Go between Apotlock and Abadura Warriors and we feel happy. But they won. So for me, it is a game where you know the rules before the game.
Okay.
You're not going to shift the goalpost. Where the game done or during the game, you just shift the goalpost. The goalposts are the laws that have been put down in Sierra Leone. Any other issue you get, wait for reviews. You bring it in or go to parliament and tell your people, go and argue this point out that we have to change this in our laws or in our constitution. And all of those processes are alive today.
It seems the U.S. government is still concerned, even with the laws here we talk about, to a point that even the MCC, there is delay in its development and all of that because they get them concerned here. How the government of Sierra Leone plan for handle this? You know, well, with all which you decision for make the U.S. government understand what's in our position.
We hope, say, the delay maybe for happen, but it don't happen. They are the referees. Now them don't decide, say, this game had the delay and small because of bad weather. Or because the field not conducive at the moment. So they say delay, they don't say they stop them. And now they go put a few things the way they want we as a government of Sierra Leone for follow. One of them is what? Get a elections review committee, which we are putting together. For let we look at how then go review the laws that govern elections in Sierra Leone with the constitution and see how we go improve them for future elections. And this review let people know it is not for the election we don't done. This why don't done first. That's the next one. So we make sure so we're not going to make that same mistake.
Is that an admittance problem been there with the election?
No, I did not say that.
No, I'm asking.
No,
I'm
I
not
didn't
saying
say.
You say.
No, I didn't say. The Americans say. They believe there were problems.
No, I'm asking the review where the president announced,
no, but
the review committee. Is it an admittance that there were issues with
now,
the
let me
election?
tell you something. You tell me they play football. I mean, they call me Dennis Law. When you didn't play, not fully they play. You know they know your mistakes. Now that they watch you. The Americans are spectators. They've been watching. Maybe they don't see here and there where we can improve things. So they will help us with the review. There are international community people here. There are even Sierra Leonean organizations where they watch. Say, sometimes them for don't put that goal post and instead of them put on that side. We'll not be in the side, we'll be inside with the field. Our aim was to win that game. And we practice, and we play hard, and we win that game. So you're not going to say, oh, don't win the game. Because they're not been set the field, something be wrong, you been tilt small or something. You go
what if the ref been rogue for low and win the game and the observer then see and say, no, this ref not be ref for this game.
Then you go to the match commissioner. You go to the match commissioner, you go report, say, this week game, it not been fair. And who's the match commissioner here? The Supreme Court. But the people that we come second, because me personally lost this election. The other you can second, i.e. the Dr. Samura Kamara. It's not even the APC. Dr. Samura Kamara can second. Gonna individuals then go contest. Him and President Bill. 9 can second. If we say the Rogam, go to the match commissioner. But you say no, they go. Maybe because you don't get evidence for sure say, now yeah, they rog me. Just feel say, something I be me tell me for to win this election and all that kind of thing. But you know, God say kulillahi malikal mulk tutul mulka man tasha wa tuizu man tasha bi yadikal khair innaka ala kulli shay'in qadir. God say, when you tempt come for be king, I make you king. When I want to reduce you from being a king, I make you a pauper. So na me na the Lord, na me they give you that I want, na me they take you that I want. At this time, in 2023, 24 June, God, na President Julius Maada Bio in Tabule na knock.
Okay.
And if you don't knock him, if you feel say that was a mistake, then say go to the match commissioner, go report to the referee. But you are not going there.
Is it not
not trust the system.
Sorry?
Is it not trust the match commissioner?
So then what do? You're living in a state. You don't like the state. You don't trust the state of Sierra Leone. Leave Sierra Leone. Go somewhere else. But in Sierra Leone we have laws. And our institution starts from the judiciary, countdown. It starts from the parliament, countdown. It comes to the executive, countdown. There are 3 institutions. We have a president. We have a chief justice. And we have a Speaker of the House. Now they want to lead with governance organs in the country. If you don't trust any of those, then why do you live in Sierra Leone? Go to Gambia. Go to Senegal. Go to the United States. Maybe it's better for you. But here, these are the laws that govern us according to the 1991 Constitution, where we, and they say we becoming a APC. Now we write that Constitution. The 1991 Constitution of President Joseph Saidu Momo, the late President Joseph Saidu Momo, now in commissioner, now in writer. Now Dr. Abdoulaye Conte, former Attorney General, now in Kerango Parliament. Then pass him. And today, they not change 1 comma. We will come from the NPRC days, they not be able to change 1 comma. Then come back now, we self come, we try for review, we not change 1 comma. Now, President Bill, they not change 1 comma. So the Constitution, how we write, and that's really dumb. And that is what President Bill is following. The man of rules, the man of law, man of regulations. So if spectators they look, you say, that game they know, we all be the watch game. That ball, then they be rogue with that, then I be handball, na this, na that. But when you want to show the proof, and then VAR, go to the match commissioner.
Earlier you mentioned section 212. The producer just don't pull some other section. We talk about ineligibility based on sanction activities. And
which section?
They read so under section.
No, number.
212A3C. Say allows. It say this allows the secretary under adverse foreign policy consequences. So this allows the secretary of state to exclude under certain circumstances any applicant whose entry or proposed activities in the United States will have potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences for the United States. It go further and say an applicant who is an official of a foreign government or purported government, or who is a candidate for election to a foreign government, or may not be excluded under INA section 212, the way A3C, solely because of any past, current, or expected belief, statements, or association which will be lawful. They go further for say exceptions for other applicants. Applicants other than foreign government officials or candidates for government office may not be excluded because of their past, current, or expected beliefs, statements, or association, if lawful in the United States, unless the Secretary of State personally determines that the applicant's admission will compromise a compelling U.S. foreign policy interest.
Fine. Well, you are just saying the same thing.
Yeah, no, but this day actually they talk about the exceptions, the power where the foreign state secretary get for say okay, then people we think say they are involved in this and and for enforcement against them. So it means
you have to prove that.
So it means generally government people are not exempted as it was stated.
I've told you.
Yeah, but I just need some exceptions.
No,
I can send the link to you if you want to read that for me.
Okay. I have all that you're reading there. What you're saying is you're playing with semantics.
No, it's not my words.
Yes,
no, it's not my words, sir.
No, you're playing with semantics. What they are saying, which are you not seem to understand?
Exceptions. Exceptions for other applicants.
The two subsections where you do. The first one are applicants from government officials.
Exactly.
The second one are exceptions for other applicants.
Yes.
But none of them says that a government official is liable to be.
No, but it say applicants other than foreign government officials or candidates. This is under the exceptions for other applicants. Where they talk about the powers, where you say the last I
that is now the discretion. At the discretion
of the foreign secretary.
Okay. We're not talking about discretions here. Me, I'm looking at the law.
Yeah, but the law gives exceptions.
You like me or you don't like me or something like that, you exclude me, it's up to you. But what the law says here is that this law not affect government officials in a foreign country.
Even with the exceptions?
The exceptions are saying by discretion
that
of one man.
Yes.
One man. So you leave it with him.
Okay.
Right? That I can't argue. That's America. America can do what they want. But I'm sure, even with his discretion, he has limitations. Because above him, there will be the Foreign Affairs Committee. Above him, there will be the Supreme Court of the United States. So all of these people follow the law. I am sure Secretary Blinken will not use discretionary powers indiscriminately. So he has to be very well convinced that yes, if I give this person opportunity for come in our country, it will get adverse effect on foreign policies where we get. So that is something.
Honorable African, will the government want to know the people where this restriction they affect? The government want to know? And
I can assure you, say the American government will never tell you because they have laws, and they don't tell you. Say, I think I listened to Madam Sarah Van Horn, the other day, when he said, as the United States, we have a policy that visa applications are confidential between the interviewee and the applicant. That information will not be divulged except maybe by subpoena. And nobody is going to subpoena them to tell us who they are. You just wait and see. If it affects you, where you go know. You know, get visa. So or if they give visa, they'll tell you, say, all right, when they give this visa, you're only going to Washington and Maryland. You stay within the DMV area. You know, go other side. That's the restriction. They're not saying they not give you. They're saying they restrict you. When they say ban, that means you know they enter at all. You can enter until they say, okay, well, where they go to? Now Texas no more. Because I didn't say they go. After that, you're not allowed to go to Nevada. You're not allowed to go to California or something like that. That's a restriction. You understand? So for me, the law is very clear. And the United States is a country of law. I remember.
Sonia gets a question.
Yeah, no, I've been actually.
I don't say I'm not on it. Yeah, I just land.
Okay, land.
I just remember when we were doing AU, President Obama then can say, it's my last term. He said, I'm not going to contest anymore. He said, but if I contest, I probably will win. But you know something? The law is the law, and I stick to the law. Even though I believe that I'm popular, I could win an election. I know they go because it's the law. The Americans, the law, for them in that country, after God, not the law, not president, not anybody else. So anybody not going to just use them indiscriminately because you have been given discretionary powers. That's also subject to some kind of investigation. Yes, Sonia.
So yeah, of course, people get concerned as to whatever these names may be. We get this they get restrictions on and all these things. One got to think as to how the U.S. Embassy people were able to actually get specific names. Is it going to be maybe a situation around being investigated and do an investigation for highlighting specific names to do the restrictions on?
No, I don't know. You're asking me to tell you what the American government will be doing.
We're concerned with
the
name.
No. My concern is that they say they restrict people. And then don't tell me, Madam Susan Van Horn, who is the public affairs officer in the embassy, they say you will only know when you apply.
So let you go through all the process.
That's it. You go through all the process, you go to that before them. They will tell you, say, okay, you can only go to Fort Worth, Texas. You know, with Dallas. Now I no more restrict you. Because this is a restriction order. It is not a banning.
So in other
order.
words, it's a limited.
A limited,
Thing, yes,
yes,
limitation. Yes,
limited.
okay.
It is not against the people of Sierra Leone, nor against government officials directly. This is what it's saying. Now for people who cause problems during the election, even the one day when they go and chase other people, where they cost other people. So it's wide net, not a government in target. Now unruliness, now lawlessness, now indiscriminate behavior, and all that kinds of things, and in the target.
The outcome of the election, to some extent, don't see some strained, if I could say, relationship between the United States government and the government of Sierra Leone, with the MCC as well, as I mentioned earlier. How is the government, trying to fix on a relationship with the United States government, especially what they look forward for getting the compact program, where the president as well during the campaign been mentioned, say hopefully that they can support the water and electricity sectors.
Yeah.
And some roads too, infrastructure. I look forward to the point where a professor, associate professor of the University of Washington, Susan Shepler, say, I see no real U.S. appetite for punishing a country that is still recovering from a devastating civil war, especially when President Bio seemed destined to win first or second round. This is what she said on the 31st of August, writing in the Africa Report. So the sentiment is there. They're not going to unnecessarily punish we, because it's not targeting the people of Sierra Leone. So that already don't show you see, at some point, the MCC, by the grace of God, then go release them. Okay. They just want for waiting government they put in place, the strategies rule they put in place, for ensure say the things that make them worry about this last election not go repeat. Because then self not go tell me. They know not to tell me say let President Adekam please, let President Bio cancel the election. He doesn't have that power. Now only the Supreme Court now able to do that. And for the Supreme Court, they have to take the case to them. Nobody no care and go. So who's going to bail the cat? Who is going to do it?
The outgoing U.S. ambassador saying in that interview there as well on Radio Democracy that the committee where the president sets, they appreciate him, they welcome him, but it should not be the vice president who is head of it. They say independent, people should head the committee, and that's Sarah Vanon, we the coalition as well, may not come out and say the position of the outgoing U.S. ambassador is the position of the United States government.
That's the usual first thought. I don't know. I'm sure say when they know, waiting at the credentials of the vice president, and the reason why President Bio choose them for their head. Now, because President Bio sees the vice president as somebody where one, apart from the academic capacity we get in political science, both here and overseas. We study in Bordeaux to get PhD there. You also see the man who work plenty side when have been trouble spots in the world. They don't be elections officers under the UN there. They don't conduct elections in Kosovo. They don't conduct elections in Bosnia. You don't conduct elections now, even in Mali here. And I think Burkina Faso. And Senegal. So he has that experience. Composite experience from all the side and the way don't work. You put them together, and a man will understand policies. And besides, if this thing goes wrong, he also stands to lose. So it is in his interest for make sure, see, when he sits there as chairman, he will listen to all shades of opinion. Don't forget, he's only a chairman in a committee. The committee, the majority always carries the vote. Unless he is with the majority, he's not able to impose himself on that. He's not will not be a chairman with a veto power. So if the president feels, say, this is not the right person for put there, the Americans, they say, maybe he's not the right person. I am sure they will dialogue about it. You can go try to convince them why you did that. And then go show them why, for being or something like that. At the end of the day, there will be an outcome. President Bio is not going to insist on stepping on the toes of partners and all that. We want we get collaboration, cooperation in the world. Mm-hmm. We want the buy-in of everybody, especially now that we're going to the Security Council.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because now that we are going to the Security Council, President Bio exercise and demonstrate a balance in judgment. We know the disenfranchised or put anybody in a disadvantaged position.
You can confirm, say, the president don't meet with Dr. Samora Kamara at a recent time after the election?
I can't confirm that. I know that attempts have been made. I know that President Bio don't send a few olive branches across. I don't know if Dr. Samora Kamara don't grab any of those olive branches. But as you know, it might be slightly above my pay grade. So something in the talk, I don't know. At the end of the day, I am only an amplifier. Mm-hmm. So when they go tell me inside they don't reach, they'll tell me like I can tell the public. But I believe that Dr. Samora himself no go want chaos in Sierra Leone. I told you before when I came here, I said, I've always found him to be a man of peace, a peaceful man. So what is happening this time? I don't know, is it a sense of what else do I do if this thing slips through my hands? What else do I do? Samora Kamara and myself are about contemporaries. Maybe you will pass me 1 year. And as you can see, in life, you only have so much to do. And I believe he gets a lot of things for doing in the country. But if that is the case, and you not get the instrument it for use, if there is another way, follow it. Mm-hmm. Make you deliver for this country. Mm-hmm. He has delivered before. And I don't see any difficulty for President Julius Maada Bio and Dr. Samora Kamara for work together. Because they have done that before. When President Bio was president of Sierra Leone in 1996, the very first person we appoint was Dr. Samora Kamara as Minister of Finance. At that time in 1996. So they have that relationship. That trust is there between them, I'm sure. Maybe they are talking, but I can't tell. I can confirm that.
Okay. The presidents, they go UN. I read Global Times newspaper this morning, say they expect the president for left on the 12th for the UN General meeting. Are you part of the delegation? You're going with the president?
I know the president is going on the 12th.
Okay. Will government make public the delegation?
Oh yes, at the end of the day they will. At the end of the day they will. And when it is made public, I will get to know if I'm on that delegation.
Okay, but for now you don't know.
For now, I don't know yet.
Okay. Well, Sonia, you get a question?
No, not at all.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Alhaji.
I get last word. I want to talk to my people.
Okay, right. You always get that.
Diabo.
And that's I can see them, they share around on social media.
The last one. I beg them. Now, 2 groups of people I want to talk to now. Well, 3. 1 person, a group, and then the country. The first person I want to talk to now, Dr. Samora Kamara. You have so much to gain by making sure that this imbroglio, this impasse, apparent impasse, they resolve them. They resolve them, you will be put on a pedestal of a statesman. If we don't resolve it, if blames have to be, you will get part of that blame. And me no want to get a part blame because you don't work a lot for this country up to the age where they so. From Bank of Sierra Leone, I sabi you in the 1980s. So now, I don't sabi you for any other Ben thing we go make people then where they come. I don't see you a good person. So today, I ask you, find the way within you for let una sit down make una talk. What do you want? What do you want? This election will not be reversed. We laws not say so. You'll be able to maybe get a chance for say if I go to court something, the court will do this, but you have refused to go there. So that's not the 1 person. Second, the APC. We have been part of the APC. We suffer for APC from 1962 until 28 April 2003. That is 61 years. I did with APC. But now I dread me. But when I dread me, I still feel it say the party get a future. Because this country in a two-party day, we're able for mobilize, heavy support, critical mass of people, the APC and the SLPP. So we need a balance. So the APC for come up, ask the opposition. Una people they don't vote for una. Now I go beg them. Say we don't vote for you. They don't vote. Now they are not represented in parliament and also in the councils. So they are gonna go work for the people. I've been giving example just now. The Republicans, they mean they pray for President Donald Trump win a second term. It not be win. But the Republicans in Congress, then they Congress. The Republicans will win Senate, then they're not Senate. They are working towards making sure that they can stand against. Some of them are even pushing hard for let President Trump gets the nomination and make it come back and win the election. That's what they're hoping for. So me they tell una say if una help Dr. Samura Kamara and the APC, una we get mandate for talk where people hearing, and then the right time it becomes news. Now una like the MP and the councillors. Now when you dey in the street, you dey talk, they make one news because the noise they make. When you are in the parliament, when you talk, you can make demands and they listen to you. And the right time, it is at the hand side. So that's the second group. The third group, Sierra Leone, we all. Now this one green country we get. I get no other side for good. When I see how America they protect themselves, even for their foreign policy, they don't want possible way will go Hamburg, even the foreign policy for go inside their country. They are so jealous of their country because they love it. They are patriots. So I want let we say be patriots. Love your country. Listen to the national pledge. Pledge your love and loyalty to Sierra Leone. Vow to serve her faithfully at all times. You promise to defend her, honor and good name, and fight for her love and unity. So help us all, God. So I had a big one. Let nobody know they overseas. If they drive Mercedes, Rolls Royce, you get big apartment, air conditioned, in kitchen always full up, this and that. Can't tell you say you go not treat on the rain, go fight, go cause problems against the law, not challenge the state. Some people didn't challenge the state yesterday in Israel. And I see what happen. Don't challenge the state. Let them not do them. If they want to do them, let them come. They get money. Let them pay ticket, they come. They can't do them. But let them not ask una, make una no make una pikin and go school. While they own pikin in school right now. Beside them day. They say let you own pikin no go school. Don't listen to them. Now lie. If you want better, go school. So I thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Alhaji Alpha Kanu, Presidential Spokesman, for your time, and hopefully we'll get you some other time for talk on the issues within the office of the President. Well, now we end the program Wake Up Sierra Leone Special Edition on AYV Television. Plenty thanks to now we don't watch now we don't listen to we, and the one day we don't follow in our social media platforms. We saw you able to read all of the messages them. Thanks to the production team. Wake Up Sierra Leone, they return tomorrow. My name is Amadou Lamranaba.
And me, your name is Sonia Jaffa. Thank you, and we wish you all the best.